Sitting in my car, this blank page just staring at me. Cause nothing I'm about to write is gonna be right. I apologize. There's nothing I compare this to. There's no one to compare her to. No wildflower growing beat, rhythm song or poem that can bring this feeling home to you. Unless you in that home and she ain't coming home to you. Cause Lord knows you ain't gotta look at them pictures or clean up that room or fold up them clothes. Try to save her from the world, but the world's so cold. 3,420 days to grow. She was loved every hour, minute, second of them. So there's nothing to be said that could bring her back from dead. There's nothing I could think that could get her out my head. There's not enough to smoke, there's not enough to drink. It's all pink pigtails, fringes on their handlebars. Halloween, trick or treat for candy bars. Breakfast in the morning, snack before nap. Hey uncle, check this chair. Kick, step, clap. Did you like it? I love it. Come here, give me a hug. Kid, nighttime, brush your teeth, go to bed. We'll see you in the morning, sleepyhead. You never think that morning ain't coming. You never think a thought so dumbing. A feeling of complete and utter numbing. Like your heart stop running, your mind a mile a minute. You ever seen a pile of shit? Bitch, I'm in it. Sick, throwing up and spinning. And it's just the beginning. Wait until the holidays and really start to set it. And she gon' be my Valentine every time. Easter egg hunting out, really starting to lose my mind. Apple picking field trip, school shopping, jeans, kicks. Last year's don't fit, and next year's don't exist. We supposed to live like this. What about the beach, her little bathing suit, blankets and buckets? Yo, fuck this. You can't be serious. This can't be right. It's gotta be wrong. This can't be life. Goosebumps on my arm, I hear a spirit in the night, see her smile in the day. What feel right in front of me's a lifetime away. I'm finding all these words, but no right rhyme to say, cause at the end of the day, she should laugh and play. So how can I accept that someone took that away? But fuck me, you wanna see brave? You should've seen her father at her grave. You wanna hear hurt? You should've heard her mother in the church. There's nothing worse than this. This is the worst. I gripped that casket with my life, carried their baby to a hearse. From that hearse to a hole in the ground. I promise, bro, there's a hole in me now. I feel like shit, I'm even writing this down. In the pit of my stomach, that little boy in me drowned. And this is it, if pain got a sound, if pain got a face, just paint it on me. I wanna wear it for the world to see. I don't care, I want that girl with me. Don't wanna hear it in the autumn leaves. In front of Nana's, her and Devin planted trees. Things like this will change what you believe. I said many prayers, crying on my knees, please. Nothing changed except everything. Now the grass ain't green, the birds don't sing, and the sun don't shine. It just rain all day if you visit my mind. I can see it so clear, so vivid in my mind. Please put me out my misery, be so kind. Look away if you looking for forgiveness. You took something too precious. I love you, Alexis.
Rest in peace, Alexis. Alexis would have been about 21 years old right now. Rest in peace. Salute to Ali Pone for putting that together. FedHill, FedHill gives me clearance on all their music. Go check them out. Some Rhode Island 401 hip hop right there. Salute to Ali Pone. What a good track. That's a true story about a little girl who was traveling with her family on Route 10, and someone had stole a van from the Nickerson House Community Center over on Delane Street in Oneyville, and the van ended up crossing the highway and crashed into Alexis's family's vehicle, and Alexis didn't pass away. I call Alexis the Princess of Providence. That sweet little girl. Rest in peace, Alexis. And I know there's curse words in that song, but something so strong like that, we all hear these curse words, but we here to keep it real. So I ain't worried about a couple curse words on my platform. What's up, everybody? How we doing? Now, everyone took the day. We heard all the BS going on with everything going on over there at Hope. And it's a shame. It really is. It's definitely a shame. Coming up next, a few more minutes, I think about 9 o'clock, we're going to have Hope assistant football coach, Israel Rivera. He coached the team last season. He's going to come on. He's a former Hope alumni. He's going to tell us what was really going on in that program. He's going to tell us what Coach, Jeremy was going through, at least last season alone. Now, everybody knows that this is all about canceling the injury fund game, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. What is the injury fund game? Basically, the injury fund game is a game that raises money. So if you are injured in a game, that money can help pay your deductibles. But I guess the problem is, I guess now because Hope did not play that injury fund game, so if anybody from Hope applied, they would not be eligible. But I have yet to see anybody get anything from the injury fund game. But we're not saying it's a bad thing, because I don't know what really all the ins and outs. Always keeping it real. You already know we have to keep it real, right? Because if we're authentic and we keep it real, I think people respect it more, right? Always got to keep it real. Not everybody likes the truth. Look, we got the bikes in. We're going to have a giveaway. We're going to give 2 little ones. We got some 14-inch BMX bikes. We're going to give it to, a couple first-time youth high school players, because we giving back, right? You know what I mean? It's not all about doing what we want. It's all about giving back, right? Like keeping it real. I ended up getting my hands on something about this whole Hope High School thing, and I wanted to show it because see this, out of the kids that the roster that was submitted, these are the kids that would have been playing that injury fund game. Now I grabbed this. Someone sent it to me today, and I wanted the people to see this. Out of the, I think, what was it? It was 16 or so players, but a few of them players should have not been in that game for the reason, right? You had an 11th grader, right? His paperwork was in, but his first day of practice was the first day of school, and he would have not had his 10 days of practice required by the Interscholastic League to be placed on a roster and able to play. All right, there's one. Then you had a 12th grade senior, a 9th grade freshman who never played football before and did not have a helmet of his own. So he did not have any days of practice with a helmet. Another one was a 9th grade who never played football before, and you were going to put them up. Another 9th grader, freshman, who never played football before. A 10th grader, not playing and sitting out because of a hamstring injury. Oh, so now that's one of the 16 that were going to be eligible for that game. A freshman who never played before. A freshman who never played before. An 11th grader had paperwork in, but the first day of practice was the first day of school and did not have the mandatory 10 days of practice required by the Interscholastic League to be placed on a roster and able to play. He also never showed up the day of the game, so that's another one that would have not been eligible for that game. A freshman female who never played before and did not have a helmet to practice with. So them is just a few of the kids that the coach at Hope was going to show up with, and this is the reason why he canceled the game, and I know for a fact that the athletic director, the day of the game at 6:30, still had the bus waiting in the parking lot. Now, I think officials will tell you that you get penalized if you're not on the field a few minutes prior to kickoff. But we're going to talk more about this in a minute. Take this time to share the stream. I always got to thank the people that helped me make this possible, and it gives me a chance to share the stream.
what Mikey does. Sometimes I'm like, yo, you over the edge, TMZ with it. But
the boy gonna do you something nasty.
I hate to say it, more times than not, he get the results he wants.
Right, and to be honest with you, I honestly don't think it's over. Honestly, I think exactly what this state needs. We've always needed a platform where we can call out the nonsense,
the repercussions,
and give people the props that they deserve, and call out the people who are full of it. And honestly, I think that more and more people are starting to utilize Mike's platform for that. And honestly, I know a lot of folks. A lot of people talk to me, "Oh, Emerson, like you're on there and you talk this and you talk that," and I'm like, "Listen," I said. Name one thing that he's been wrong about. And then there's silence.
But, boy.
Right.
Because they know. Because honestly, like that stuff that's being exposed, they're like, oh, damn, how did he find out about it? And again, Mike has his sources, and I never get into that. But at the end of the day, what he exposes is the truth. And people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the watered down version. They want to hear, oh, well, I don't know how he found that out, blah, blah, blah. But, they want to duck and dodge and this and that. And, there's no need for that. It's like, okay, we need to bring a level of respect back to, coaching and administration and stuff like that. And honestly, when people get called out like that, they call out the nonsense. And that's exactly what we need.
Y'all better stop playing with that boy.
Oh, the alignment's good for football on second thought. Dude, you crapped on it this whole video, man.
Sitting there like I have no clue what I'm doing. Like I was just keeping my hands out of it and people were just taking shots at her left and right. And it was, for me, it was.
Dude, he said, I have no idea what I'm doing. We know that. But what you meant to say was like I had nothing to do with this. No, you called out a parent. I have never, ever, ever called out a parent, man. Never crossed that line, man. That's unprofessional, man. You work for the Journal, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, no one's going to give you more coverage. No one's going to be at more games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be real this year. It's almost here. 3 days away.
Yeah, they said the Providence Journal is going to be real this year because we know they have not been real in the past. But listen, speaking of the Providence Journal, Gatehouse Media, listen, you should just hire me to handle this because we got football on lock, right? No one's doing a better job promoting high school football with the good, the bad, the ugly. And what's going on at Hope? It's ugly. I don't care who took over that program. Yeah. Shout out Mike Murray. He said today that if Lorenzo Perry would have took the program over, years in the past, it would be great. But I don't even think Lorenzo Perry could really help the problem at Hope. Hopeless. Like the wave. Hopeless. Like the problem over there is administration. I put a comment on one of my posts today, and it basically was a comment from an administrator, and he said the problem at Hope does not start or end with the high school football coach. The problem at Hope starts with the principal, the athletic director. This is not the first time that this has been happening. This is not the first time athletic director at Hope turned in rosters that were a mess. It's not the first time at Hope athletic directors are letting kids go on the field without having all the paperwork in. It's not the first. What do you think? It's the first time that kids were the first time wearing helmets on the field? But to put 8 kids on the roster and to threaten the coach, don't you dare leave. There was parents there waiting. A lot of people heard what went on in that parking lot at Hope. And that's why this is becoming such a big deal. A lot of people heard. I have yet to hear from the coach. My guy Emerson Kilgore talks highly about Coach Jerry. I know Bobby Palazzo over at Classical talks highly about him. A few other people that I talked to today, I'm not going to mention their names talked very highly about Coach Jerry and what you guys are doing, because he canceled the game, the injury fund game. The next morning, the principal didn't even listen to his explanation. Said, we can't come back from this. We can't come back from this. You are out of here. The decision making in the building right away has to start there. And everybody, and you all know I'm right. I mean, a good coach is only going to do good if you have the backing of a good administration. A good coach, and not all coaches are good football coaches. Not all coaches are good people. People. Yeah. They don't work well with people. Not all of them have the backing of the AD and the principal. And everything I have said so far has been on point. Let me read this. I'm going to read something to you. That something was leaked to me from an Instagram account. And it was, and it was a burner account, because it only had I don't even know if it had one follower. Is this it? Oh, here it is. Now, this is dated Thursday, September 1st, and I definitely will share this. It says, oh, this is from Vismark Gonzalez. All right. It says, good afternoon, gentlemen. This is our roster as of right now. We have 12 eligible student athletes with completed paperwork. As we discussed, I am willing to add a few more at 4 p.m. if they bring their missing forms. I will not add players anymore on game days. Now, this roster should have already been put in. And it goes on to say, for safety reasons, the district requires we have a minimum of 16 players to play. If we cannot get our numbers up to 16, we will forfeit and we will be sanctioned by the league or district. And he also goes on to say, because of that, I'm willing to go up to 18 players if we have to. It just says you only have 12 players eligible, but you're willing to go up to 18 players. Another one. I am attaching the football eligibility notes based on the paperwork I received of 22 packages. They only had completed packages on one student. And this was as of Tuesday. Completed packages on one student. And this is what the athletic director at Hope submitted. Out of the 25, how do you have 25 kids to start with? And then by this particular day, you only have 12 or 16 players. The scrimmage, there was a whole bunch of players at the scrimmage. And then I asked the question. I was like, well, if the paperwork wasn't in, how was the kids playing at scrimmage? And I guess somebody explained to me, well, that's like a practice, so you don't need your paperwork submitted. And I was like, I just didn't understand that, because when my son played high school football, he could not practice until I had all that paperwork in, So to think that you could scrimmage, because there was a lot of kids for the scrimmage, to think you can scrimmage, but you don't need all the paperwork in to scrimmage, I was unaware of that. Yeah, I was definitely unaware of that. So what do y'all think about this? What should happen? Should Coach Jerry keep his job? Should Coach Jerry resign? Should he, if they offer him his job, should he stick around at Hope? Or is it going to be the same old going on over there? Who would step up, and where would be a good place for Coach Jerry to go get another job? You know that they didn't even have lockers a year ago, I think, when Coach Jerry came into the program? Kids were putting their belongings in cardboard boxes inside the coach's office. And if a kid didn't show up for practice 1 or 2 days, there would be equipment missing, all types of shit would be gone. So Coach Jerry went and always keeping it real. That's right. Different school, different rules. Shout out to my guy, Wes Pennington. My son needed all his paperwork before the first official practice. Yes, exactly. My son could not get on the field before the paperwork was set. Was even yeah, you couldn't do anything unless that paperwork was on the field. I think it's different athletic director, different set of rules. I actually put up earlier. Do I still have it here? I put up earlier about the let me see if I can find it. Basically, the list of people that was put forth, and even the senior captain, he was held out for the game because I think that was the quarterback. So there's actually one more fresher than this. But this is what happened. Look, a freshman never played, did not have a helmet to wear. Not playing, sitting out because of hamstring. Don't have the 10 days RIIL rules. Out of the 16 kids that was submitted for this roster, 8 of them had RIIL mandatory prep. Like did not have the 10 days. So what is RII? What is RIIL? Yeah, let's call it RIIL. It's easier, right? What is RIIL gonna do about this? If an athletic director submits this roster, the coach says, I'm not playing these kids. I am not going to this game. Oh, you have to go. It's an injury fund game. Politics. You have to go. You have to go. And there was options. And that's why a lot of people said, some people said, well, the coach had options over there. Yeah, his options were to play Central. Oh, boy. And we knew 2 weeks ago that Hope High School was already calling the athletic director and saying, listen, we really do not have what it takes to play Central, even for a 10-minute game. And we know classical Chris McCall is ducking Central. Like, that's a fact. We know that classical Chris McCall, went all out of his way. Absolutely not was his text when the RIIL called Chris McCall and said, you're playing Central for the injury fund game. His text was, oh, absolutely not. And that's a fact, because I might even be able to show it to you. Mayor Angelo said, if they you, who they are, believe them. Huh? If they you, who they are, believe them. I have to explain that a little better. If they were you, who were they? Yeah, maybe if you can explain that one. Sorry, if they show you who they are, believe them. Okay. You kind of got me on that one, but Okay, but we were talking about the rules and the submitting this and, not playing with helmets. And why is it important? Who can answer this? Why is it important for players to have them necessary mandatory days of helmets and them 10 mandatory days? Why is it so important for that? And was Coach Jerry right for forfeiting that game? If there was, out of 16 kids, 3 kids that never wore a helmet, 5 kids that did not have the real 10 days mandatory, was Coach Jerry right for forfeiting that game? Now, mind you, the athletic director would not let Hope leave. It was like 6:30. They still was at Hope. So was Coach Jerry right for canceling that game? Or should have he went and played the game and possibly put all his players in harm's way? How would have Coach Jerry explained to them parents if he put all his kids in harm's way? There's documentation. Remember I told you about being a fly on the wall? Well, in PPSD, it's not hard to be a fly on the wall and get information about people. We forfeited 2 games at the end of the year in 2013 for safety reasons. Oh, and you wasn't fired? Imagine that. See that? Like, you do forfeit for safety reasons. I think this thing with Hope, and like I said, somebody said today, let me see if I can find what they said, because I think I wrote something about it. What they say, and this hasn't been good. This has been going on for past administrations. You talk to other people that worked at Hope, I guarantee they'll tell you the same thing about the athletic director. He waits till last minute. He procrastinates. So people were like, oh, Coach Jerry, I hope he did this to himself. He had other options. They gave him an option. And so you know what their option was? Their option was to play Central. And we can't play Central. Okay, then we won't let you play Central, because Central is supposed to play Classical. And we'll get back into that in a second. Central is supposed to play Classical. So they say, okay, play Mount Pleasant and Classical. So that's what his 16 kids, 8 of them never played football. 5 did not have the 10 days mandatory. 3 of them never wore a helmet. And if we get back to Chris McCall, he had a meeting, and I can go back and look and tell you the exact date of the meeting. He had a meeting because he did not want to play Central. He called the citywide athletic director was there. There was all types of people there. He did not want to play. That's a fact. I'm not even making this up. He wanted to be taken out of the rotation so bad. Like, this has his prints all over it. He wanted to be taken out of the rotation, so he did not want to play Central, because when the word came down from Josh Lima, and Josh Lima cannot even say this is a lie because I have the thread. When it came down from Josh Lima, Chris McCall's response was absolutely not. We can't play Central. It's like, oh, in no other sport do they play. Every other sport, I think, Classical and Central play in some type of holiday exhibition match. If I'm not mistaken, I'm faking. But I'm pretty sure that they play quite often. Sorry, I'm trying to go through a bunch of things here. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that they play quite often for these holiday games. And come on, like, let's not kid ourselves here. But Costco just won a D2 division title. And they go backwards. They go to Division 3. So, by the way that Costco adds things up, you know, like Isaac Newton, the law, we got the Chris McCall law. So, based on the Chris McCall theory, if they win another championship in D3, they'll be in D4 next year. Go get them, buddy. I heard the Pawtucket Times did a piece on Dino retiring, announcing his retirement again. So we'll have to check that out. But all right, let's check this out. We have a guest coming on. We just waiting for him. Okay, let's see. Timeline. Here we go. Yeah, we're actually going to be talking to Coach Israel Rivera. He was a Hope High School graduate. He played multiple sports at Hope, including football. You know, he came back. He wanted to give back. I'm going to double check right now and make sure that he is coming on. But a lot of people spoke up for Coach Jerry. Robert Palazzo sent in letters of recommendation. A lot of people spoke up for him. Yep, a lot of people. Give me 1 second. I'm just seeing if the coach is still coming. But if anybody else wants to come on and speak up for Coach Jerry, if you have something to say, I could put the link out there. Ask me for the link. If you have something personal you want to tell me to support Coach Jerry, message me. This is also live on Twitter, but support Coach Jerry right now, because I don't think it's right that the athletic director is basically hanging him out to dry. That's what it basically it seems like here, So we're gonna have Coach Israel Rivera come up right after this. I'm just gonna play a quick video. He's a Hope High School graduate, played multiple sports over there. So we're gonna bring him on after this quick video, and then pretty soon we're gonna talk about the coaches pick 'em. A lot of great games coming up this week.
Not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational purpose only.
Absolutely be the fakest motherfucker you ever thought you could be, and just lie your way all the way through. And if long as you believe your lies, which is most of the industry these days, then you can last this long. The other way is to just be real with your friends, your family, and your core fan base. Just 100% authentic, and you keep it real with them, they keep it real with you, and they'll support you till the day you die.
That's what it's about, man. Keep it real with me. I'll keep it real with you. On the line, we got Israel Rivera, Hope High School, former assistant football coach. How you doing, Israel?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, welcome. I'm glad you could take the time to come on in, talk a little bit about your experiences. Now, you're a former graduate of Hope High School. When did you graduate? What sports did you play?
I graduated 2009. I played football, basketball, and baseball.
Nice. And what sport did you excel in?
Football.
Nice. Who was your coach back then?
Gibbs, Michael Gibbs.
Okay, Gibbs there for a long time. Now we're going to talk about, so now we fast forward. Coach Jerry takes over the program. How did you get involved with Coach Jerry?
One of my guys, Jumbo, was actually helping out. Gave me the word. Told him to hit up Jerry to actually try to get on board, because I always wanted to do high school, especially going back to the school that I grew up at. It was even better.
Salute to my guy Jumbo, man. He got his hands in the mix all over the place. Jumbo, good people. All right, so let's talk about it. At the beginning of last year, you heard about that there was a new football coach. He's looking for volunteers. He's looking for help. So you go over there, and what? You just speak with him?
Yeah, I actually spoke with him. He said that I could start right away. I started literally the next day. I started working out with him, and it just went from there.
Now tell us your story. Tell us your story, all your experiences. Tell the people from there. Now, what happened from there? I know that they posted a job. You applied for it. Why don't I just let you tell the story, and I'll interrupt if I need to.
Okay. So I was already volunteering for the summertime, so we was already running practice and doing everything from the start. I was told that the job was going to be opening, and if you was to get the job, you'll still get reimbursed of all the payments since the beginning of the season. So the interview ended up happening in the middle of the season. I still did it with no problem, did the interview, did all that. I actually got the job, and I didn't get paid a cent. And still to this day, I'm still waiting on it. The AD told me that basically I was supposed to get it, but then said after, "Oh, do you have it in writing that I said that I would reimburse you all the money?" So even with that being said, I was like, okay, so you're saying that, but what happened to the half of the season and when I did get the job? Still didn't receive no money. Still didn't receive nothing. Then you want to keep using the excuse of, oh, well, there's a lot of people that coach that never got paid for years. Well, my situation is different. I actually applied for the job and got the job. So that means I should have got paid. Jerry vouched for it. Jerry was there. This year, Jerry asked me to coach. I wanted to, but then I couldn't just because of how they did me like that. And I don't want them to do anybody else like that, but it's not my place to tell no one else to not coach there. And Jerry told me, oh, yeah, you come coach. I'll help you out as much as I can with the money situation. I said, no, you already did enough. But at the end of the day, I can't do an organization like that that's going to treat someone like that that's been there for years and just want to give back to those kids, because we did a great job.
Yeah, that's a fact. So Jerry was willing to take money out of his own pocket?
Yep.
That's amazing. Not a lot of coaches are willing to do that. Now, you can't speak for this year's experience, but let me run a little bit by you from what I understand coming up to this week's injury fund game. From what I understand that happened is that the AD was late on getting the roster in. By the time he did, the roster only had 16 kids on it, and half of them kids did not have the mandatory RIIL 10-day clearance to play. Was that the same type of behavior you dealt with last season from this athletic director?
To be honest, yeah, we didn't get our roster that day of the injury fund. That's when we got the roster last year.
That was last season as well. What's some of the other experiences that you had? Because from what I understand, the experience you had put a real bad taste in your mouth about coaching, period.
Yeah. So it wasn't, to me, it wasn't about the kids. It really wasn't. It was about what he said, and what he said goes. We had told him multiple things that the kids needed. Simple things Lockers. Where they gonna put their stuff at, and why is everything getting stolen? Simple things like that. You could have just went and got lockers. You took out all the lockers on the kids, so now everyone's getting their stuff stolen, their valuables, their sneakers, everything. Simple stuff like that, and then it just kept going on, and the list just kept going. So how are you supposed to run an organization if you don't have the right things to do it?
So they removed the lockers that were already there, and
Yeah.
in place of the lockers, here's some cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
Is that some grimy? I bet they won't do that in NK or some of these nicer, in the suburbs. Like, what makes Hope any different?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just little simple things that we asked for, and it just never got done. And you could tell there's a lot of backdoor stuff going on since I was in it. Wasn't long in the organization, but just by my little bit of experience, there's a lot of backdoor stuff that they ain't gonna admit to or they're not gonna say.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are not. Now, speaking of the lockers, let's stay talking about the lockers, because I heard a rumor that Coach Jerry went out and purchased up to 20 lockers out of his own pocket.
Yes, he did.
That is true.
Yes, he bought actually a couple things out of pocket that the school should have gave him. Footballs, sorts of things. Like there's a lot of things that Jerry came out of pocket for that no coach would really do, to be honest, unless you really love the sport. When I grew up, no coaches was doing that.
Now, I'm sure you must have heard about everything that Coach Jerry is going through. For
Definitely.
one, are you surprised they're treating him like this?
No.
And for two, does he deserve it?
He don't deserve it. And two, I already knew it was coming. And look what they did to me. And I'm a person that grew up there. That Mr. Gonzalez actually was my gym teacher, helped him out in softball. So it's like I can't sit here and say that I didn't expect that, because I definitely did.
And because they did the same to you as well. It's a shame, how needed is the Jerry needed in that community at Hope High School?
He's definitely needed there. I don't know nobody else that's going to take it as serious as he did, because me and him, when I was there and we were coaching, there wasn't no days off. Every day was about football. He did the huddle for the kids so the kids can stay on top of it. And that's kind of like the technology now, but he's definitely on top of the kids, making sure they go to their programs, their other sports. It's not just football. So if they got wrestling and they need rides, he's giving them rides. Like I done seen it. We done both did it. It's more than just football, just trying to teach these kids to make sure that they're doing good and they have a goal to make.
Well, you know what? Respect for you, Israel. I hope you get your money. Hope High School, pay this man his money. Salute to you. Stay positive. I hope you get involved in football again, or in sports again, because we're in the biggest time of fatherless homes. I think we need as many male mentors as we can get for these kids, especially up on the east side.
Yeah, I still play right now. I play semi-pro. I played arena for 4 years. Still trying.
Who you play for?
I play for Southern New England Admirals.
Right now. Okay. So my guy Jay Brandon, Josh Brandon.
Yep.
Good people. He just had a baby not too long ago. Salute to him. Coach Olette up there at one socket. Coach Nadeem over there at Mount Hope at the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Small world.
It is.
All right, man. Yo,
you guys having me on here.
Yeah, definitely, Coach Israel. You ever want to come on, you have an open invitation. And if you could tell Jerry something, if he has a chance to see this, what would you tell him?
Keep up the good work. Don't let nothing stop you, bro.
And if you have a chance to talk to HR and the principal at Hope High School, and they could listen to this and you could really tell them something impactful, what would you tell them?
They better get it fixed before they get fixed out.
Get it fixed to get fixed out. Yo, I like that. I rock with Izzy, yo. All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Israel Rivera, former Hope High School football coach. I'm glad you took the time and came on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, man. Get it fixed or get fixed out. He brings up my man Jumbo. Salute to Jumbo. I got to write that down. Get it fixed or get fixed out. I like what Israel had to say. Salute to him. Salute to Coach Jerry. I don't even know Coach Jerry, but I'm always going to stand up when this happens to some of our great coaches in the game. But what do you guys think about that? What do you think of what is going on? So let me get a minute to get this straight. Play one of these little videos here. And check this out.
Let's go, give it to mine. Let's go. Get the fuck in there. Get the fuck in there. Let's go.
One thing I was. All right, so listen, parents, man, players, coaches, if you have film, you have video, plays like that, send your highlights into me Friday night, Saturday night. I try to get them uploaded as fast as I can. I get them out there for the people, because we here for the people. We here for the coaches. But listen, man, tomorrow's Thursday night. We're going to pick our games for the weekend. We're going to have our 10 games. We're going to see who the coaches are going to select for their games. What are some games? And if you can go to Can We Keep It Real podcast page, I got 949 followers. Can we bump it over 1,000? That'll be what's up. But our coaches pick'em show. We're going to talk about that a little bit. What are some games? I had St. Ray's, Providence, people recommended. We need 10. I need 10 games, but we want to make it hard for these coaches because this week we had a lot of coaches that, look at some of these Stantons. Where are they? We had Coach Stanley Dunbar, 9-1. Coach Blizzy Blake. Blizzy Blake came in, I think, 6-4. We had Cliff Fortin that came in 8-2. Mike Washington was 9-1. So definitely every week we're gonna have the coaches pick 'em challenge where coaches are gonna pick different who they think are gonna win these games. Who they think are going to win these games, and at the end of the season, we're going to have a nice little trophy to give out. Big shout out to Rally Point. The only way to stand is together. Thank you for your support. We always got to listen to the kids. We're going to talk to my guy from the Bronx. We're stepping over state lines, you know what I mean? Going up to Bronx River. I bet you all didn't know that Mikey used to run around them buildings up there near the Bronx River. Yep, I was in like the 9th grade, freshman, little badass up there in New York. We getting to that point. My guy Wes, like, what about me? He said, pick me. What about Wes? Nobody talks about poor little Wes. Now, salute to Wes, man. He ain't so little, though. My big guy, Wes Pennington, over here coming in 8-2. Picks West Warwick, Lincoln, North Smithfield was one of his downfalls. But he's going to pick this former team that he won a Super Bowl with. I'll tell you what, though, don't tell anybody, but that Super Bowl still hurting North Smithfield. But we won't talk about that. NK, NK has a tough game against Hendricken. Maybe that will be one of our games this week. Central Falls put what? 50. Well, they put a lot up on Hope. I think it was over 50. They put up on Hope. Haha. Yes, sir. You did pretty good. But this week we're gonna mix it up a little. We're gonna put some different type games that it's gonna be hard to figure out who was going to win some of these games. I said, you know what? We need some different type of games because last week, see the games that we were picking. Norton Coach Private coming in 9-1. And what about Gary Goodhart? I gotta find some. I need some a picture of Coach Goodhart. But Coach Goodhart coming in 10-0. But you know what I'm thinking for this week, and I'm still gonna talk to my partner in crime, Uncle Felix. We got a few Thursday night games, if I'm not mistaken. I think is Shea and Barrington a Thursday night game? Somebody confirm that. East Providence and St. Ray's, is that a Thursday night game as well? Mount Hope and Pilgrim, I think, is a Thursday night game. And I know SK and Woonsocket is a Thursday night game as well. So we're going to have to get them games pretty much. If any of them games are going to be in the challenge, we're going to have to figure that out. You know, and then some other games that I'm thinking that might be, you know, and then we have some other coaches that are also in the mix. We have Eddie Insco, who is 8-2, and I still gotta put him and Anthony Alejandro's their clip up here. I don't know why it is not up here. But I'm definitely gonna have to do that. Salute to Eddie over there at North Smithfield. You know, damn. I hope he's not listening. Then he's gonna know I dropped the ball again. I swear I uploaded it, but we'll get it up there. Eddie Insco was 8-2. Alejandro Panagancic coach is also 8-2, but I'm gonna have to get that up there. But yeah, I think East Providence St. Ray's is a good game to have in the coaches pick'em show because I want this to start getting tough. I want this to start getting tough. You know, West Warwick, Pontiac, I mean, that's really, we know everybody's going to go with West Warwick, respectfully. You know, Middletown Classical. Could that be a toss-up game? Middletown Classical. Rogers Johnston. There's a good matchup. That's a good one that could go either way. See, I like to get these games that can go either way, so maybe we can kind of, you know, some of these guys can take some L's. We could really test their football knowledge and see what they really know about other football programs. And no programs better get in there feeling, oh, you picked against us. Oh, stop it and run your triple option. That's the only guy. North Smithfield and Lincoln. You know, that game, you know, a lot of people, you know, I got to say, though, North Smithfield should feel good coming out of that Pontiac game, you know, even though they lost the game 10-7, but they got to feel good. You you went neck to neck with a Division IV Super Bowl champion. You kept up with them. You went toe-to-toe with them. Nothing's wrong with the triple option. I was just making a joke. I was making a joke. My man Jumbo, did you just catch the pot with Israel Rivera? He mentioned you. But salute to Jumbo. Nah, I was making a joke about triple option coaches. But what are some other good games? How about North Kingstown Bishop Hendricken? Is Bishop Hendricken gonna be able to, you know, do to North Kingstown? They have a lot of young defensive players. A lot of cramping going on last week. Tiverton and Scituate, that's a game that is definitely going to be on the list because Scituate is definitely going to whip up on Tiverton. I mean, we already know what the Tiverton's defensive coach is going to bring. A bunch of hot air. You know, but Tiverton looks very, very bad right now. Just tuning in. I missed it. Yes, sir, Jumbo. So what we talked about up until up until now, basically, as we talked about the situation up there at Hope High School, and how Coach Jerry right now is on administrative leave, being blamed for canceling the injury fund game. And they don't like when you forfeit them injury fund games, but the athletic director handed in a roster that basically had 3 kids that never wore a helmet, 5 kids that did not have their 10 days RIIL mandatory, and they are blaming Coach Jerry. They basically, it's all his fault, and they're firing him. They're trying to get him out the door. I don't know Coach Jerry from a hole in the wall. I wouldn't know Coach Jerry. I think I was calling him Jeremy yesterday. Someone said his name Jerry. I wouldn't know him if we bumped into each other. But basically, this is basically some of the roster. Yeah, there's a few more, but basically you had a freshman female that never played, no helmet, never had a helmet on. You had a couple other freshmen. And exactly. End of the day, it's the kids that go without, because now they have 2 coaches that are really trying, but they don't have no football experience. They have no game experience. But I did see in the chat today, I think Emerson Kilgore and another official said that when they officiated the Central Falls game, that they were a class act over there, for the situation that they were going through. They were a class act. So salute to the guys over there that is stuck to be in the middle. So Scituate and Tiverton, a lot of people are pulling for Scituate to win that game. Scituate comes out, they beat Shea, on a JV game. They end up getting a week off because of the Mount Pleasant situation. Have a Coke and a smile. They got a week off because of that. So some of the games, we're thinking of. How about LaSalle is going to be home to Catholic Memorial. And then Burrville and Cranston West. Cranston West, I got to see a little bit more on Cranston West. Haha, my man. Yeah, I was just talking about you, bro. Same thing. I just had Israel Rivera on, the former Hope coach. Poor Coach Jerry over there, what's going on with him. But how you doing, man? Praise to you. I was just talking about your I think I mentioned to Israel, about your little daughter that you're always posting, a little beautiful little girl. But salute to you, Josh. Hope you're doing good. Central Falls Hall of Famer right there. Goes by JB, but everyone knows him when he had playing that semi-pro game. We had him on the show a couple times. So we're going to have Burrville and Cranston West. Can Burrville keep up with Cranston West? Burrville's definitely going to beat Cranston West. Burrville had a tough week last week. Hope High School and EWG. See, these are games that we're going to put on the coaches pick'em this week and see if we can have a different standing. We got Coach Goodhart in first place. Second, we got Dunbar, Mike Washington, Coach Piver, all tied for second place. And then you got Coach Eddie Insco. You got Cliff Fortin. You got Anthony Alejandro, West Pennington. So it's a tight race for sure. So we're definitely going to put the Hope High School game, if they have kids that are eligible, but they definitely got to have their 10 days now. Well, you played Central Falls, so I hope you had your 10 days for Central Falls. But that program is a mess, and no matter who goes over there to coach, no matter who goes over there to coach, unless you fix the problem, the internal problem with the principal, with the athletic director. Look, you have a shitty athletic director, you're going to have a shitty football program. That's why Hope is on probation. Right, and that's a fact. North Providence, Central Falls. That is another game that can be a toss-up. Who wins that game? North Providence, would you say their stock went up or their stock dropped? See, so games like that are going to be Juanita Sanchez and Davies. I'm not sold on Davies yet. Davies did not impress me during that EWG game. EWG comes out strong. What did they go up 12-8? If I'm not mistaken, I watched that on RIIL production by a lot. Yes, by a lot is right. I think it was 50 to zip. But even the Davies game, right? That was what the final was like 30-12. I'm looking on the EWG sideline. Yeah, I wish I can go back and find the episode, right? Because I'm looking on the EWG sideline, and it's funny because I got Coach Goodhart on the show, and I'm looking on the EWG sideline, and I look at the coaches, and I was like, well, here's one coach. You know, this guy got his arms folded. This guy's looking at looking at his nails. Another guy's looking at a bird. I don't know what the other guy was looking at. And then they go on the field, and then all of a sudden you could see a Davies player running all the way. Do I got it here? You know what? We're going to find it. All of a sudden you see a Davies player, right, running all the way down the field for a touchdown. Let me see. I think I had Coach Goodhart on the show. Let me put this up on the screen because I don't want you people to miss this. Yeah, it was EWG Davies game. I was like, this is the problem right here. Look at this staff not doing jack. You know what? We're not even going to call him. We're going to call him hanging by a string. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see.
And salute to you because win, lose, you always willing to give us the time and come on the show. So
yeah, even last year when Glasgow shredded us 50-12, I didn't want to come on, but I did.
Salute to guys like you, Coach Dunbar, Coach West Pennington,
Yeah,
and we're gonna get
we have to call him like hanging by a string over
in
there.
a few minutes, But yeah, salute to all you coaches, and I want to say a big thank you.
This is city living, mostly them city children. From my bedroom, see the lights of them city buildings. Ain't gotta act hard, private's my backyard.
Anything bad, but I think the commentators are kind of Krantz to West homers.
Yeah, this is some of
what it is, but
the game over there, the Davies game.
It's nice that they do that stream.
EWG.
This one's really nice. I could go without the commentators or whatever personally, but if they're good, if they're gonna be,
so
they're gonna be right down the middle. That's one thing. But I'm really happy that they give these options of having a live stream because there's a lot of people out there in other states or in this state
is that the Stringfellow guy? I wouldn't know him if I ran into him.
I love the commentator.
But this is what we was watching.
Greg Morano, even though I can't stomach the company he's with, Westerly Live, I'll say it straight up when they talk. I don't hear words, I hear hissing. Straight up snakes. But Greg aside, I think he's a great commentator. He knows football. Like, I think maybe he says the DI formation, they're setting up here. Sometimes he's even calling the plays.
He kept running, man. That was a nice little run, huh?
Yes,
that
definitely.
was a nice
the
run
score is
there.
22-12. Go to Digital RIIL and see what they have going on. We're definitely a supporter of Digital RIIL
they're putting together.
Production. So yeah, let them do some live streaming.
Fans
Are they
only
only going to
sports.
do? Are they only going to do EWG games, or are they going to try to span out and do?
Yeah, but
other
I
games
wasn't
too?
really impressed
I
too much
think
by
that's
what
the
Davies,
idea. That's the they
what
would like to
Davies was
span
putting
out
out there.
and do
You know,
other
I got to see a little
games
more by
also,
Davies
but I
before
think
I
right
could
now
say
they have
that they did not lose any stock.
they're committed to EWG
I wanted to
people,
find,
you know. So but yeah, they're trying to get advertisement, you know, and so let's go.
it's just a
I am
play.
USA football certified. You know, just saying.
He looks gassed.
Can't sustain. So like our bodies are the same way. If we're not putting
the coaches are there with their arms folded.
I
No
think
wonder
this was
this
it.
is happening.
He is gone.
Gone.
GAWN, gone.
There is no coaching up on that sideline.
Oil in it, and you just don't take care of it. Over time, it just can't sustain. So like our bodies are the same way. If we're not putting the right fuel in it, we're not constantly hydrating. You know, our bodies can't run to the maximum potential.
I don't know why I don't have no
and
sound,
you know, a lot of that
but
stuff goes with coaching and, you know, trying to get our kids. And last night, yet again, I take responsibility for my kids cramping up and water yesterday and day before. Never seen them before in my
There we
life.
go.
We had like 8 kids cramping up. It's deflating for a coach as well to have them cramping when, you know, you're teaching those things.
Talk about deflating for a coach. You would think in this situation, the coaches are there with their arms folded. No wonder this is happening.
The worst is like cramp. Can't sustain. So like having cramping when, you know, you're teaching those things.
Talk about deflating.
This guy,
for
go
a
get
coach.
him.
You
What
would
was he
think
doing?
in this
What's the big guy
situation,
doing?
the coaches are there with their
But right
arms
before that, you
folded.
look at
No
the
wonder
you look
this
at the
is
coaches,
happening.
right? They're not doing like jack.
He is
Like I said, one's looking at a damn bird, the other's doing his damn nails. You know, but salute to the kids over there. I wish the kids the best. You know that them kids were told that if they talk to me, they'll be benched. Is that a shame? You know, so, you know, that's basically what's going on over there at Hope High School. Coach Jerry's about to be fired. You know, he's on administrative leave right now. We have guys coaching the program that never coached football before. Coach Tutu, salute to you. You know, I hope everything's going good over there. You know, but we're gonna peel this back layer by layer. Tonight we talked to Israel Rivera, a Hope High School graduate that played multiple sports over at Hope. He played football. At the beginning of last year, he heard that Hope High School needed some volunteers, so he came in. He applied for the job. They told him, apply for the job. We'll pay you retroactively. He never got 5 cents for the job. They hire him. He don't get paid. He asked for his money. Never mind paying him retroactive. They never paid him at all. They hired him. They never paid him at all. So he leaves. You know, and then they really don't have much the following season. What else we got here? April 12th, athletic director Mr. Gonzalez was reminded that the football program needed 15 helmets. August 24th, Mr. Gonzalez was emailed about the safety concerns about my son and others playing against Central High School for the injury fund game. His parents informed Mr. Gonzalez about the number of players that we had. August 30th, we email Mr. Gonzalez once again, our athletic director, and Mr. Vasquez to inform them that there was only one eligible player in the game and that we must play. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so August 30th, I'm sorry, August 30th, Mr. Gonzalez emails the football program, coaching staff, right? Check this out. This stuff just came in. It gets better. I told you. August 30th, Mr. Gonzalez emails it looked like Izzy, did you have something else that you wanted to add? I seen you come back on. All right, people, hold on 1 second. We're going to bring Izzy back on. Maybe he had something that he didn't mention, but let's get him back up in here. Izzy, you there?
Yeah, I was trying to just watch it.
Okay. I'm going to send you the link right now. Go on Facebook. Go to Can We Keep It Real podcast. I'll put the link in the comment section.
Appreciate you.
All right, well. All right, he was just trying to watch it end up popping back up in here, but I'm going to text him the link right now, and then we're going to talk about what Mr. Gonzalez said they have to play this game. So give me 1 second. I'm going to send Izzy the link. You have to hear this. They don't make this shit up. I know what you guys can see. Hang on. I want you guys to see my son, what he has going on in his life. Salute to my son. My baby boy.
Exeter is very long. Did his knee touch the ground? I don't know.
Most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Hendricken and LaSalle, no surprise. Central and North Kingstown are the Division I teams. And I don't think that is a
Why don't you opt up into Division I? I think it's pretty simple, but again, everybody keeps bringing up LaSalle and Hendricken. Well, don't complain about it then. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play them. I want to play them. If that's the case, don't get mad now because, so it's just, again.
Division 3B, Mount Pleasant.
I'm paranoid. I can't sleep with pockets deep. Got rest on me. Why they watching me? I'm pushing P. I'm pushing P. Pushing P. I'm pushing P. Yeah. Pushing P.
There you go. So there's my son, Eric. You all had a chance to meet him. I had to send my guy, Israel, the link so he could listen on. He came on earlier talking about the BS they have going over there. But check this out, this message I just got. Mr. Gonzalez emails the football program and Mr. Vasquez to inform the program that there was only one eligible player to play in the game. That's crazy. Only one eligible player for the injury fund game. But you must still play this game. Mr. Gonzalez went on to mention that he sat down with the assistant coaches to go over the paperwork. But what we do know is the head coach was not involved with the paperwork. But Mr. Gonzalez said he did not want the head coach to be his point of contact for the players' paperwork. Why not? Wouldn't the head coach usually be the point of contact? But that meant that he would have to train a first-year guy. Even the parents knew that this was not a good idea. And then while we were watching practice, the athletic director goes up and takes one of the assistant coaches away. And they go talk privately. August 31st, rosters were supposed to be uploaded per RIIL. Wednesday, August 31st, Mr. Gonzalez emails the coaches and principal to tell them that he thinks they may have enough people to play the game, but he's not sure yet. August 31st, Mr. Gonzalez sends a picture of his screen that has 10 players. This guy is like, yo, Gonzalez, yo, dude, man, yo, you gotta go. Kick rocks, bro. Another picture with 12 names on it. Oh, this is getting better and better. One player had his paperwork, but his first day of practice was the first day of school, and he did not have the mandatory 10 days of practice required by the RIIL. A freshman who never played football before, who does not have a helmet to wear. A freshman who never played football or wore a helmet. A freshman who never played football before. A 10th grader not playing because they have a hamstring injury, but they were on the roster for that game. Another freshman who never played before. An 11th grader had his paperwork in, but his first day of practice was the first day of school, so he did not have his 10 days. Another player does not have 10 days. A freshman female who never played and never had a damn helmet. So, look, Mr. Gonzalez, the AD dropped the friggin' ball on this. And even the morning of, the roster should have been attached. How September 1st, you're only saying now you have 12 players on the roster. But for safety reasons, you go out of your way and say you need 16. And then in the same conversation, you say that you're willing to add 4 more players to make sure you play the game. So let me ask you, where were them 4 players coming from? If everyone else was ineligible, where were them 4 players eligible? Where'd you get them from? And this is not the first year that Hope does this, but because they're backed by a union, these 2 clowns are protected. They protected by the union. Screw that shit. That shit is just straight whack, and it's just foul. And he belongs on the list with these clowns.
24, run it!
Excuse me, coach?
With that clown.
Oh, the alignment's good for football on second.
Get on that list with these clowns.
We see what happened to the last dude tried to. Yeah, I bet he probably went home and cried. Too.
Clowns, man. We're surrounded by clowns. There's so many great people in this football game, but then there's so many clowns. So there you have it, man. We talked to Coach Israel. Thank you. Appreciate you coming on. Always keeping it real. We have to be we have to be authentic. We're trying to raise these men out here. And we're 3 out of 4 homes I was reading are fatherless homes. But shout out to everybody that supports the program. Look, we still need a sponsor for the Thursday night show for the Coaches Pick'em. It's going to be good this week. We're going to have 10 games. We're going to have that tomorrow. We'll see if we can have some coaches maybe make their picks live. What do you think? Maybe, right?
Now deal with it. We see what happened when the last dude tried to. Yeah, I bet he probably went home and cried too. I chucked the line in the cafeteria. Lunch lady gave me a bowl of gravy, some mashed potatoes, and real with it. So ill with it, I think I need a medical leave. I got my foot on their neck and I ain't letting them breathe. He say he nicer, but he ain't never said it to me. Flow so cold, minus like 7 degrees.
Let's go, come take a ride through my city life. See what my city's like. It's the city life, for some it's a shitty life. This is city living, mostly them city children. From my bedroom, see the lights of them city buildings. Ain't gotta act hard, private's my backyard. I run Rhode Island, you can call me a track star. And we a team, homie, all is one. I don't sleep until all is done. I ain't ruckus, so please don't call me Mr. 401.
Wins, not everybody, the older coaches. They want to cry. They want to go to these RIIL meetings, and they want to cry. We're not competitive. We can't do this. I can't be in. What are we doing here?
Oh, he wilding right now.
They out here. Rhode Island, stand up, man. I'm trying to put on for my city.
Football in Rhode Island, bro.
I'm trying to put on for my city, man.
Be honest with you, I pissed off.
D1, but I don't want to be called D2.
Getting things correct in the most timely manner possible.
But we're never going to win a championship. Oh, has some winners, has some losers, some.
When I drop you off, you never see your father. Saw 48 hours of the week. It's not enough for us to speak. It's not enough for me to teach. I want to hug. You're out of reach. You're so far away. I just want you here with me. Just know this wasn't up to me. Driving from your mama crib, I find it hard to breathe. Hard to tell you what I mean, but I never want to leave. There's things I must protect you from. I only can 2 days out the week. I only feel like a man on them 2 days out the week. Rest of the time, I'm on my grind. Sometimes I forget to eat, but I'm hungry, baby. Daddy eat.